Hey everybody, this is Bradley Benner with How to SEO, and tonight I'm going to share a little bit about local SEO ranking factors and some research that I've been doing lately. I've been sharing this information earlier today actually with a SEO group that I host. We meet on a weekly basis, and I was sharing some of this information with them. So I decided to get into a little bit more of it, dig a little bit deeper tonight, and I just wanted to make a quick video blog post about this, about what I'm seeing right now in the local space, which is quite interesting. I actually had got my start in SEO in the local space, and primarily most of my business is still in local SEO. And I've got a lot of my own personal lead generation properties that I've built and ranked and then sell the leads to local businesses, primarily contracting type businesses, contractors. And I've seen a lot of my sites slipping in rankings in the last few months, really since Penguin 2.1 in October of 2013. And some of my sites have fared well, and some have actually slipped a bit. And I'm seeing some really crazy stuff for the last couple months as far as what is working, and sites that like really have no business being at the top of the search results, in the top positions. I've seen them, come up to the top positions when I don't think that, based on all the stuff that we traditionally would do in SEO, they really had no business being there, in my opinion. But so anyways, I've been digging into this a little bit deeper in the past couple days based on a discovery I made, and so I just want to share some results tonight that I've looked up about local SEO ranking factors. And as far as I can see it right now, the biggest factor as far as a backlink profile is URL anchors and brand anchors. That has to be the majority of all. And when I see the majority, I mean a good majority of any links pointed to the site. And I found that actually the on-page optimization is more important than the backlink profile. For local terms, guys, that's what I'm talking about here, okay? And I'm gonna show you some examples here in a minute. But that if you are going to build links to your site, okay, that the most important links to build are URL anchors and brand anchors with very limited keyword anchors. Okay, as a matter of fact, let me put that right here. Very limited keyword anchors. And that bears an exclamation point. Okay, so the reason why I'm seeing this is I'm going to just jump into some local results here, guys, for Richmond, Virginia. I'm in Virginia. That's not typically my market, so I thought this would be good to do some competition analysis here. And I'm just going to go over some different industries that I've done SEO for. Okay, and I know that a lot of these are not very competitive, but again, some of them I've done SEO and I have sites that have been well optimized, they've had a good link profile, and they've slipped and been replaced in position by some of these sites that, the only thing I can determine from all of this research here is what I'm about to show you. So for example, one of the industries is tree service. I look for tree service Richmond, VA, and for this post, the only thing that I'm going to pull back is the #1 position that is not a directory listing. Okay, or a big multinational company. Okay, so anything that looks like it's a local type site, local business owner type site, #1 position. What is at the top for each of these keyword phrases? So I clicked over to the link, and that's going to be this site here, a typical tree service type guy site, not very sophisticated site. So we can come over to Ahrefs. We take a look at the backlink profile. 49 backlinks, 20 referring domains. Pretty much no social signals, 19 Facebook likes or shares, and we come down, we look at the anchor profile, and this is where it starts to get interesting. If you take a look, there's not 47% of the anchor text of the links coming back, so half of the links pointing back to this site are brand, True Timber Tree Service, right? That's the brand, that's the company name. So they're branded anchors. This is branded anchors. So between those two, this is branded anchors. All right, so we've got basically 58%, 64, 74, 74% of all links pointed back, of all anchor text pointed back to this site is brand anchor, right? And then 5%, which is URL anchor. and then there's a a little generic one in there. Okay, so that's the first one I wanted to show you. I'll close these out as I go. All right, we're going to take another tree service. Tree service Petersburg, Virginia. This is just south of Richmond. The first position is a local business contractor site. Site doesn't look so bad. It's a typical site again for tree service guys. Come over to Ahrefs. We'll take a look at this. Only 13 backlinks from 4 referring domains, right? Very, very, I've got sites that I've had hundreds of links built, over 6 months or a year or whatever, 300-400 links, backlinks built, but using more traditional SEO tactics. And I haven't been pushing on these sites since October of last year because it's the winter. Tree season really slows down. It's seasonal work. But that have fallen in ranking and been replaced by these kind of sites, right? No social signals. We'll take a look at the anchors. This is a looks like from a coupon, anchor text from a coupon, but you can tell it's not been targeted for SEO, right? And then 33% is the URL anchor, right? Okay, so that's another example of URL anchor being important, and no keyword anchor text. We'll go into another industry this time, roofing, Richmond, Virginia, or VA. We come down here, you see the first 2 links are directories, business directories. Then we get to clrightroofing.com. We come over, we look at their site. Another typical type site for a contractor. We look at their backlinks. They got 25 backlinks. Again, 25 to be #1 in Richmond, Virginia for roofing. Think about that. Richmond, Virginia is a fairly large city in Virginia. 25 backlinks. These guys are on page 1 with only 6 Facebook shares. No other social signals. 14 referring domains. That's it. Let's take a look at their anchor text. Look at this, guys. Completely 25% brand, 25% URL anchor, then another 8% and 16% brand, and then generic. Not a single keyword anchor. Not one. #1 in Richmond for roofing, Richmond, VA. A big city in Virginia. They got 25 anchors, not a single keyword anchor. Okay, so let me continue to reinforce this point. All right, we're going to go into roof repair, Richmond, VA. I know this is a competitive space. I've got clients in this space. Okay, not in this city, but in this space. So here we go, business directory. Here's the first site, Nathan's Roof Repairs. This is their site. I kind of like that. I think that's eye-catching. They did a good job with that. We'll go take a look at their backlink profile. Now, #1, Roof Repair Richmond, VA, with only 49 backlinks from 11 referring domains. Once again, no social signals. 6 Facebook shares. Come take a look. This is their anchor text profile. I hope you guys are seeing this pattern here. This is brand, no text, which means it probably came from a banner ad, most likely. Nathan's Roof Repairs brand, Nathan's Roofing brand. Those are all branded anchors, and then down here 11% URL. So what do we see here? We see entirely brand anchors with some URL anchors. Once again, not a single keyword anchor in here. Not one, right? Which a keyword anchor would have been Roof Repair Richmond, Richmond Roof Repair. You don't see that anywhere, right? So I'm going to keep hammering away at this. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I want you guys to see a pattern here. We'll get into a more competitive space, right? Personal injury attorneys. We all know that personal injury attorneys are quite competitive. Okay. We all know that personal injury in any city is pretty competitive. And we see here the top of the search result is Allen & Allen, which is a fairly large firm in Virginia because they're in a lot of cities. They do a lot of TV advertising, so you know they spend a lot of money. Okay, and I want you to see this one. This is really interesting. This is their site. Got a good looking site. This is the guy that's always in the commercial right here. They do a lot of commercial advertising, so you know they're spending bucks, right? And they're ranked #1 in Richmond for personal injury attorney, a very competitive space. Anybody that's done SEO for any, knows that personal injury attorneys, or any attorneys for that matter, is a very, very competitive industry. Okay. Take a look at this backlink profile, guys. 28,000 backlinks from 995 referring domains, right? These, like I said, this is a rather big firm in Virginia. Good mix of social signals. Now take a look. They've had spam. They've had SEO spam, probably from a competitor that's built cheap, spam type pharmaceutical links back to their page. Okay, but if you look, by brand Cialis, then they've got their brand right here, and in the rest, they've got a couple brand keywords in here, then the URL keywords here, but the rest of those are all by Cialis, by brand Cialis, brand name Cialis, and I bet they don't even know this. And they're still ranking #1. I mean, why would they know unless they got an SEO guy that has told them? But that means most likely is somebody that ran a negative SEO campaign and built a bunch of spammy links to their site trying to knock them out. And look, it did nothing to hurt them. They're still #1. And why is that? Well, because they're if somebody was going to build a spam, not that I'm advocating this at all, but the best way to get somebody penalized right now is to build targeted anchor text links for the keyword that they want to rank for, not spam stuff like that. You'd build, personal injury attorney Richmond VA. You'd try to get their anchor text ratio way up with just that anchor term, and it would penalize their site. They get smacked. All right, so let me continue. We need to get a couple more in here. There's another one, divorce attorney Richmond VA. Okay, the first one besides find law, so that's lawyer directory. Let's go in here, divorce law Richmond VA, family law. Come over here, take a look at their site. That's an okay site. Doesn't look much like an attorney site, but anyways, it's an attorney site. Let's go take a look at their link profile. 356 links from only 15 referring domains. Guys, these guys are #1 position with only 15 referring domains. Think about that. For divorce attorney, you think this is a high-dollar keyword? Divorce attorney or divorce lawyer, Richmond, Virginia, you think that's a high-dollar keyword? Imagine what these guys are paying pay-per-click. I guarantee you it's $25, $30 minimum per click, if not more, $50 a click. Look at these guys, #2. #1, they're the first one besides Find Law, but #2 organic, and this is their from 15 referring domains. Let's go look. No social signals, 3 shares. That's it. We come down and take a look at this. There's not a single. There's one right there. There's one mention of Richmond VA family law. Okay, and that's at 8%, and the rest of them are all URLs, 42% URL, and then the rest is generic or their names of their attorneys as the anchor text. So the only mention of a keyword at all is right here. It's 8% of their overall link profile, anchor text profile. Okay, #2 for divorce attorney in Richmond. That's insane, guys. 15 referring domains. Okay, so defense lawyer Richmond VA. This is another very highly lucrative for attorneys, so they spend a lot of money on these keywords. And once again, #2 is the first position for something other than a directory. So we're going to go take a look at this site. I don't like that header at all, but whatever. Let's take a look at their backlink profile. Only 100 backlinks, 24 referring domains. Once again, very little social shares. And we come down, we take a look at their anchor cloud. Once again, brand 20%, brand another 10%, URLs another 10%, and then the rest looks like it's all the names of their attorneys. Okay, once again, there's really no keyword anchors at all. All right, I think we've only got we're down to one more, guys. That's it. All right, this is the last one, bail bonds Richmond VA. Since we were just on criminal defense attorneys, I thought this was a good segue into this. Bail bonds Richmond VA. We come down here. The first thing besides a local is this one, arrowbailbonds.com. We go take a look at their site. This site is built on an Inc. Themes local business theme. I know that because I've used this for some of my own lead gen sites. And we go take a look at their backlink profile. 26 backlinks from only 10 referring domains. A few social shares. These guys got it going on a little bit. For #1 bail bonds besides the local, right? So that there's people paying for this, right? Bail bonds is something that I know that's an SEO business. People target that. And we come down here, we look. They've got 44% is URL anchor. Brand anchor. Then they've got a few targeted keyword anchors right here. Actually, somewhat high. These two right here is about 22, 44%. And then you can see another 11, 22% right there is generic and URL. And I would suspect if you take a look at their link building graph here, you can see that they built a lot of links since December. of 2013, and if I was to dig in this a little bit deeper, I would suspect that these links that were built here were probably because they got hit with an over-optimization penalty, a penguin penalty, because of their link profile being too targeted, and so they ended up building brand links to basically dilute this anchor text and come back stronger. And so back to my notes. What I'm seeing, guys, is that for local SEO, and I just showed you what, I don't know, 10 examples from various industries. Again, local terms, I understand the competition's a lot lower, but in some of these spaces, especially like the attorney space, for example, and roofing as well. Roofing's also pretty damn competitive. You know, I'm used to seeing in cities like the size of Richmond several hundred links to that particular page, whatever's ranking at the top. And you look at their link profile, and it's generally been a lot of anchor links, diverse, yes, you know, lots of variations, but now we're looking at just a fraction of the amount of backlinks, and the overall anchor text has been so much lower that it's pretty much all URL and brand anchors, and that's it. I mean, a lot of them they don't even mention the keywords in the anchor text, and yet they're ranked #1 for, again, some very, very competitive terms, or some high dollar keywords anyways, that have in the past been very competitive. So do you think the level of competition has gone down any, or do you think that Google has just started you know, penalizing and moving sites down that have it's very clear that they've practiced some sort of SEO? Okay, and the ones that have not targeted, or targeted very little keyword anchors, those most likely are being looked at from Google's standpoint as never having any SEO done. So what does this tell us? First of all, it tells us on page is key, and second of all, it tells us that if we're going to be building links, that we should be building links targeting the URLs and the brand name. And I think, you know, we've all known that, but I don't think I've ever seen it to this extent that I'm seeing it now. You know, now I'm seeing just clear indications of what, and as a matter of fact, like I said, the more keywords that I find in the anchor text profile, usually the lower the site is ranked. The less keywords I find, the higher it's ranked. So I just wanted to spend a few minutes sharing my discovery with you guys, and you know, hopefully any of you doing a local SEO will find that useful. And to stay tuned to other SEO videos I put out, check out howtoseo.us.